Let me put you on game. Don't listen to people who lose or you'll do the same. Stop talking to people who don't give a fuck what you saying. Stop spending your money on weed, go hop on a plane. Stop pointing the finger and start taking some of the blame. Let me put you on game. The money is up and it's down, it's just how it goes. Everyone's going through something.
What up, though? What's cracking, Scorpio? I hope that all of my beautiful and my handsome Scorpios out there are doing well. So before we get into this reading, y'all, let me talk to y'all. Y'all know y'all my people. I love my Scorpios. Know you see that I've been, reading for the Zodiac again. So, y'all, I got to find a way to balance this shit. I got to pour into them just like I poured into you guys. So, you may not get longer videos every day. I try to give y'all shorts. If I ain't giving you videos, I'm trying to give you shorts when I post the Zodiac, but I got to find a way to pour into them just like I pour into y'all, which means I may have to cut back just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So don't be mad. I still got y'all. Like I said, it may not be on a daily thing. You know how it was. You may not get 5, 6, 7 videos a day, but I'm going to get y'all, okay? All right. We ain't gonna pull out these, but let's get into it. So we're going to get into this reading and see what it is that you need to know, okay? So you could have been dealing with someone who was inconsistent. So when you deal with someone that's inconsistent, let me tell you something. They're going to come in, they're going to love bomb you, they're going to give you all the attention, all the everything. They're going to have you feeling like you on cloud nine, like they the best thing since sliced bread, okay? But then slowly but surely, this person started to change. They were someone who always would call you every day or text you every day. You may not get a text message, you miss a day. Then, the next week they'll miss 2 days. And next week, like, shit after, well, you damn near ain't talking to this motherfucker no more. You know what I'm saying? You damn near ain't seeing them. So it's like when you don't have consistency in a relationship, in a friendship, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, then you really don't have a firm foundation. That means that anyone can come in and fuck that shit up because the shit ain't firm, you know? So this is someone I feel like they kind of put you in your head. Their actions didn't speak louder than their words. They'll tell you they love you, but shit, their actions didn't match with their words. You start to notice a routine for this person here, okay? Some of you guys, you're being called to create some type of routine in your life. You're inconsistent with things that you do. I know, hell, I struggle with that as well. All right, we have emotionally overacting. So I feel like this person was really flooded with a lot of emotions. And it was like whenever you guys would have a conversation, you would try to speak to this person about how you feel. Because, anytime we start some shit off, our first 3 words going to be, I feel like. So you was telling this person what you feeling like and how you feel like, shit went right. And this person will always emotionally overact. That means, oh, baby, they getting mad, they cussing, they acting a fool, they punching walls, storming off, acting like a damn 2-year-old. You like, damn, niggas, you 42 or 22, you know what I'm saying, a 12. Like, hell, a 12-year-old wouldn't even do that. But it was like they would always throw these temper tantrums because they did not know how to handle their feelings and emotions. They were very emotionally immature. That's why they was always emotionally overacting here, okay? They always couldn't felt the need to be in control. So it was like, and the thing is, when you're dealing with dark energies, you're not gonna see all that shit off top. All right. When you're dealing with karmic energies, because these are the people I'm talking about, you don't always see the shit out top. But I done told y'all, and I don't mind talking about my past, because some of the shit just in the past as far as, a year or two ago. Some of it's longer, but it's like, shit, this is how I heal, talking about the shit. You can't heal it, you can't grow it, it can't evolve. I can't help the next person on their journey if I'm scared to talk about the shit that I experienced. When you're dealing with people who really like to be in control, you guys, they don't show you this shit. You never see all the red flags at once, because the first thing they're going to do is create these illusions. They're going to blind you to some shit. But as being a Scorpio, and if you are someone who is very spiritual, if you do have that type of connection with the divine spirit, going to show you out top. Yeah, they may allow you to go through some shit and see some shit because when that shit hurt, they want to make sure that shit hurt enough to where you won't put yourself back in that type of situation, okay? So this particular person, when they didn't feel that they were in control, they were acting impatient. So, just say y'all getting ready to go out for a date. Y'all finna go to the movies, finna go out to eat. It might take you a little long to get, what I'm saying, your shit to Scorpio, get your shit together. Cause when you put that on, what I'm saying, you put that shit on. You gotta make that shit look good, right? So say you was taking a little bit longer to get your shit together. Oh, this motherfucker coming and asking for, wow, bitch, you ain't ready yet. Like, you still in here doing this shit. Like, damn, motherfucker, I'm trying to, first of all, look good for your ass. And second of all, ain't because you know, Scorpio, some of us is shit like me. We walk around here looking like shit, bombs most of the time. But shit, when we clean up, baby, we clean up well, okay? Don't get it twisted. But anyway, you know, this person was acting impatient. They'll get mad at you because you ain't get off work. You said you told them to come pick you up at 5. You came outside at 5:03. These motherfuckers is mad and shit. Damn, what took you so long? You like, they always overreact. They always emotionally overreacted to every fucking thing, okay? But when this person felt like they were losing control or they didn't have control over you or this situation, they got impatient. They started demanding things. When you tell me to pick you up at 5, I'm gonna need you to have your ass outside at 5. You like, damn, what you want to tell me, my boss? Hey, my husband, my man, my woman out here. They told me I got to be at the car at 5. Like, hell no, bitch, you wasn't gonna have no job. You know, but this person felt like they became very demanding. You know, they became very impatient here. All right. Now you could have been dealing with someone because they were emotionally immature. Then they felt unworthy. And they didn't feel good enough. You know, say they went up for a promotion or, you know, they really wanted this job. They really wanted some shit to work out and it didn't happen. Then, you know, they all up in their feelings. Man, they ain't gonna never get ahead. I always gotta do, like they always, you know, get into this bullshit. Have that little pity party and shit. You know, and then they'll go into hermit mode. Then they just pull back all their energy. If y'all stay together, this motherfucker walk right past you, won't say shit. You know, because they ain't feel the need to explain themselves. Or this person will ghost you. You know, if you got to asking them questions and shit like that, they'll fuck around and ghost you. You won't hear from them or nothing. I was like, bitch, don't ask me no questions. Who the fuck you think you is? You know, you don't ask me questions here. Let's pull a couple of these. Let's see what's going on. Look at this, habit and routine. Habit and routine is not a reason to stay if it emotionally hurt. This person hurt you because they were inconsistent. You start to notice a routine. Didn't I fucking say that shit? Come on, y'all. I ain't even looking at these fucking cards. I'm sitting up here reading them. You know what I'm saying? You start to notice habits. You start to notice certain routines within this person. But that still, and that shit hurt you. But in time, you know, most of the time, we don't even pay attention to our own feelings and fucking emotions. We be feeling some type of way. We know we do. But, you know, because we all tough shit. I'm a tough motherfucker, too. Because you tough and you refuse to allow your feelings to get hurt or you don't want to accept that maybe this person ain't who they say they was and they will hurt your feelings and you start to notice those red flags, you know, you would just act like you act like you didn't see that shit. See, that's illusion. That was that illusion they created in the beginning. So as they slowly start to dump they fucking toxic ways onto you, it would take you a while to figure that shit out. I done been through it, y'all. Just went through this shit. That's why I can sit up here and tell you about it. This could be someone who never wants to compromise with you. You know what I'm saying? So it was like they never thought about, like, everything had to go their way. There was this control shit. What was that thing? Where was this card at? They always felt the need to be in control. They couldn't compromise with you. You know, they always had to go do what they wanted to do, or, you know, you had to go participate in activities they wanted to, or, you know, everything always had to go this person's way. They never thought about your feelings. They were very inconsiderate. They didn't give a fuck about your feelings. As long as they got what the fuck they wanted. Okay? Was this a codependent relationship? Yes. This is a codependent relationship because this person hurt you emotionally. But shit, for some of you guys, you started to get out of tune with your damn feelings and emotions because you was dealing with somebody who was emotionally immature, you know, like a king of cups who know the right things to say and the right things to do. They go buy some bags and some shoes or, you know, do something nice for you and shit to kind of cover up that wound. But y'all will never talk about this shit. And if you try to talk about this shit, they will get mad. You know it's gonna start a fight. You like, damn, I don't want to have a fight every time I say something to this motherfucker. I don't want to get into it every time. I'm just trying to talk about my feelings. So it's like you damn near had to stop ignoring your own feelings. It's like you couldn't even acknowledge how you felt. But this is how this person wanted you to do because guess what? They couldn't acknowledge their own damn feelings. They couldn't acknowledge how people really made them feel. That's why they took that shit out on you. So yes, I don't remember what I was saying, but this was a very codependent relationship because you was in that energy, Scorpio. You felt like, you know, you needed someone else to make you whole and complete. And some of y'all have been lonely or been to yourself for a while. You have been single for a while. You got tired of running to the same type of man or woman. So you stay. A lot of us will stay in situations with people longer than what we're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But it was this person's past behavior. You started to notice a routine I don't know why I keep saying that word. You start to notice a habit. You start to notice a certain routine with this person. They did the same shit all the fucking time. When you sit back and look at shit, when that motherfucking veil start to come down and you start to see past these illusions and see shit for what it really is. A lot of us, when you want to see shit for what it was, you know what I'm saying? You start to realize, no, I don't know if this gonna work. Like you start, because you know, Scorpio, first of all, we gonna check the fuck out emotionally. All right, before you break up with a motherfucker, you already done kind of cut back on feelings and emotions to shit. You know what I'm saying? And how you know that you at that point. So when the motherfucker start doing shit, you don't even say shit no more. You be like, you know what, this ain't even worth my time and shit. Like fuck this motherfucker. You know, you start to get in that type of energy. And when we get in that type of mode, oh baby, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Some of you made a share a home with this person, but home was not your safe place. It was more like a war zone because all you did was fuss and fight because you could never express yourself. You could never acknowledge your feelings. You could never tell this motherfucker how they was making you feel. You guys sit down and talk about it, work on it, you know what I'm saying, come to some type of resolution, you know, agree to work on the things that need to be worked on that was going to be beneficial for this relationship. You can do that shit with this person because they were too emotionally immature to handle you, okay? Let me get one more. What else does Scorpio need to know? Look at this. Not every argument has to be so intense. What did I just say? Every time you and this person get into it, shit, y'all damn near about to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that fucking intense. You're saying shit to each other that you know you shouldn't be saying. You're doing shit. You know, every argument was just so intense. Half the time, you didn't even have to be arguing with this person. But because they were so emotionally immature, they can handle their emotions. For some of y'all, they made you stop acknowledging your emotions because your intuition was yelling at you about this person. But you ignored it. Why? Because you stop acknowledging your feelings. You stop feeling like what this person did to you, it really didn't matter anyway. They ain't gonna change. They ain't gonna do no better. You know what I'm saying? But your feelings do matter. You know, this person could have told you all you do is nag all the time, all you do is complain and shit. I feel like I don't never do nothing right. Like they gaslight the fuck out of you. Tried to make it seem like it was always your fault and not take accountability for their actions and the shit that they was doing wrong. All right, so let's get the zodiac signs. Let's see who we was talking about. I love you, Scorpio. We got Capricorn. Oh shit, I'm lying. We got Gemini, Virgo, Sag, Cancer. What's gonna be Capricorn energy coming out? I just want to say Capricorn. Look at it. Capricorn, Libra, Gemini, Leo, Capricorn again, Pisces, Aquarius, Taurus. Who was this reading about for Scorpio? Aries, Virgo, Leo, and Pisces. All right, you guys. I love you, and until next time, stay blessed.